exact definition and meaning, which brings me to idioms. Idioms, which I bet you guys know what they are too, but I also have it up on the board. It's an expression or phrase that you cannot take those individual words for their exact definition or meaning. And in fact, you take that entire phrase or expression as having its own meaning. And this is where we're going to have a little fun. It's kind of silly. Raining cats and dogs. That is an idiom. Does anybody know what raining cats and dogs means? Good job. Wow, it's really raining cats and dogs outside. It means it's raining really hard, right? It's really coming down outside. Well, let's think like somebody who has autism, who is that literal thinker, like I said, that takes each and every word for its exact definition or meaning. They're going to run over to the window if you say it's raining cats and dogs, and this is what they think they're going to see. They think that the skies have just opened up and cats and dogs are falling from the clouds. Pretty silly, right? Here's another one. On the ball. Wow, Sally is really on the ball today. Does anybody know what that probably means? See, you guys are smart. It means she's doing everything perfectly right? She's really got it today. She's really with it. But let's think like somebody with autism again. They're very literal thinkers. They're taking each and every word for that exact definition, right? Or meaning. This is what they're thinking when you say Susie's on the ball today, right? And the very last one, piece of cake. That test was a piece of cake. You all know what it means, right? That's right. The test was really easy, but if you say that to somebody with autism who again thinks literally every single word in your sentence they're taking for its exact definition or meaning, they're going to walk away really confused. They just took a test and now you're telling them it's a piece of cake? So it is best never to use idioms when speaking to somebody with autism because they are literal thinkers. Lastly, before I talk about why Xena is with us here today, I want to talk about Autism Speaks. Autism Speaks is a national organization that supports programs with kiddos with autism, and they research and study and give us a better understanding about autism and provide us with the answers we're looking for. I want to share one study with you that I find is groundbreaking. And remember in the beginning of my presentation I said Pawsibility, how to become the possibility? This is where 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, I want you to listen up. What Autism Speaks did, they conducted this study, and what they did is they took kiddos with autism and they placed them in all different kinds of settings within their school. And what we're going to do is just focus on that 3rd setting. What that 3rd setting is that they place these kiddos with autism in the typical classrooms, just like you guys are doing here at Medlock Bridge. But what they did, what Autism Speaks did, is that they educated all of you. They taught you what autism was, or what autism is. And not only did they teach you about autism, they gave you skills and they gave you tools on how to form relationships with kiddos with autism, how to engage with kiddos with autism, and how to approach and how to be a friend. And what Autism Speaks concluded is that those kiddos with autism that are placed in your classrooms, just like you have them here at Medlock Bridge, they are progressing more than in any other setting within that study. And not only that, they followed these kiddos to the next grade year, and these kids were still making remarkable gains. So what I am here to tell you, Medlock Bridge, is that it is you who are the possibility. It is you who makes the difference in these kiddos who have autism. So many of these kiddos have multiple teachers, multiple therapists, multiple doctors, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and grandparents, and yet Autism Speaks found that it is you guys who are making the biggest impact on these kiddos with autism. You are the best best teachers for them. These kiddos come into your classroom every single day, and you show them every single moment of every single day how to behave. And so many kids with autism are visual learners. They learn with their eyes better than they do with their ears, and you are showing them in real time and in real life, not on a flashcard, not on an iPad, not in a book, not in a coloring book. You are showing them in real time how to be social, how to engage, and how to be a friend. I cannot pay for that kind of therapy. You are the best therapy for them. You are teaching them how to engage and how to be a friend. These kiddos look up to you. They want to socially engage with you. They want to be your friends. You are their rock stars. You are their superstars. And it is you, Ben Lockbridge, who are the possibility to change the lives of these kiddos with autism. What do we have to do? We just have to give you some tools so you are better equipped to know how to be a friend to somebody with autism. And believe me, it is so easy. Here's some tips. Oh. Time? We don't have a video. Not yet.
No.
Okay. How much time do I have? 8. Okay. Here we go. Here's some tips on how to be a friend. Know their name. Easy, right? And when you say hi to them, use their name with, the greeting hi. Because some of these kids just don't know the social cues. So, hi Johnny, hi Morgan. That's what you have to do. Make sure you say hi and use their name. Use very simple sentences. Remember that diagram where everybody was, got confused? Keep it simple and short, and there's less likely that it can get confused. Find out what they like and ask questions about it. Start up a conversation about it. And if you don't know what they like, ask their teacher. These kiddos usually know or usually like something a whole lot. Just ask questions, short, simple questions. Hey Johnny, is that an angry bird? If he doesn't answer, that's okay. Answer for him. That is an angry bird. Hey Johnny, is your angry bird green? And if he doesn't answer, again, answer for him. It's okay. And before you know it, he is going to warm up to you, and you are going to be his best friend. So do you think you guys can do this? Yes. There's a couple other things up here, and I'm going to keep it quick. Include them on the playground. They might not win the game for you, but does it really matter at the end of the day? No. And offer them high fives. This way that they can come into your space instead of you going into their space, which is a lot less scary for them. Which is why we're here today, too, is to talk about Xena the warrior puppy. Isn't she beautiful? Yes. Okay, what else should I do? Okay. She is, but I want to tell you that she didn't always look like this. In fact, she had a real tough start in life. She had been neglected, she had been abandoned, nearly starved to death and dumped on somebody's front lawn right here in Georgia. And when they saw her, they called animal control. They brought her to the shelter where they administered IV fluids. And there that evening, they only gave her a 1% chance of survival. I had seen her on TV that night, and they were looking to the public as to who could possibly have done this to a 4-month-old puppy. They said she had a Facebook page. Do you guys know what that is? Probably not, right? Yeah, I figured. I signed into Facebook, and I started following her every day, and I would pray for her at night, and each morning when I woke up, I would check the Facebook account to see if she had made it through the night. And the next morning, she was sitting up, and soon she was able to walk. I fell in love with this puppy over Facebook, and even though at the time she had 14,000 Facebook fans, I wanted to be her mother. I wanted so desperately to love this puppy and make all those wrongs that had been done to her right. So I filled out adoption papers, and what they did was they chose us as her adoption family. They brought her over for a trial period, but Johnny did not know. Johnny was in school right here at Ben Lockbridge. fridge. They brought her over just to make sure our house was okay. And when it was time to pick Johnny up from Car Rider, I put her right in the car. We pulled into Car Rider right here, and it's right here in your parking lot that Xena and Johnny met for the very first time. And that's actually a picture on the very first day. You can even see your school in the background. And when he got into the car, she was so excited to meet him. She jumped up into his lap. She was kissing him all over his face, and he was chit-chatting to her non-stop all the way home. He was telling her she had 4 legs and 2 ears. He wanted to count her teeth, which probably wasn't such a good idea. He wanted to put a Band-Aid on her nose because she had a boo-boo. When we got home, there was laughter and there was playtime. My house has been quiet for 8 years, and the one moment that this puppy walked into our home, there was noise and laughter and talking and singing. She did more for that little boy in 15 minutes than anybody has done for him in all of his years. Johnny's communication skills weren't great. That back and forth conversation was really hard for him, but guess what? She didn't care. She was just thrilled to have a friend in Johnny. So there was no judgment. She didn't care what he was saying. That day I was given her Facebook page, and they asked me to load pictures of Johnny and Xena. Of Xena, so all our fans could see her. And every time I took a picture of her, Johnny was with her. So at the time, I didn't realize it, but I was actually documenting the relationship in real time on Facebook. Here they do homework together, and they play in the yard, and bubbles, and mousetrap. Johnny found his very first friend, his very first companion at the age of 8. Finally, it was adoption day, and it was a huge celebration in our home. Somehow NBC News, we're not going to show the video here today, but somehow NBC Nightly News got wind of the story. Maybe they were following on Facebook as well, and they called and they asked if they could come and film our story and share it with the country and the world. And after that, after our NBC Nightly News piece, we go to the schools, just like we are here today, and we talk about autism. We talk about animal rescue and how you should be treating an animal only with kindness. We run races and raise money for autism research and animal rescue. Xena and Johnny have been to the Children's Hospital, visiting kiddos with cancer, spreading much needed words of hope and spreading much needed smiles. Xena visits our jails here in Georgia, spreading the message of second chances because she herself has been giving a second chance. And because of all of this, because of the miraculous story of survival and her friendship with Johnny and all those messages that they share all around the world, the ASPCA, which is a national animal welfare organization, named her their Dog of the Year. And after that year, another huge national animal welfare organization, the American Humane Association, named her their Emerging Hero Dog a Year. And what they did was they flew Johnny and Xena to Hollywood, California, both together in the plane, and they walked the red carpet, they did interviews, and at the end of that red carpet, there was an enormous award show that was televised on the Hallmark Channel this past October. And I truly believe because of that 4-legged, furry friend of Johnny's, he was able to do all of these things. And so this is the story of Johnny and Xena. And together with all of you here at Medlock Bridge, we are the Pawsibility. By spreading the words of hope and love, by being kind and making friends with those who may be a little different than us, and by spreading autism awareness and being kind to all animals. So I am going to ask you, Medlock Bridge, along with Xena the Warrior Puppy and trainer Lisa, can you be the Pawsibility, Medlock Bridge? Yeah! I figured just as much. Thanks so much, Medlock Bridge Elementary. You are the Pawsibility.
Boys and girls, we only have time for 3 questions. But if you had a question for Ms. Linda, I want you
you to think about that before you just pop your hand up, because it needs to be a question that's been well thought out. And if you have a question that you would like to ask her as it relates to autism or as it relates to Xena, then raise your hand. Okay? I have one gentleman here. Yes, sir.
If you get autism, do you always have it for your whole life?
Good question. If you get autism, do you always have it for your whole life?
Give us the preview, what you know right now. Just say right now, Dr. Sue.
Well, that is a very good question, and I would say yes on that. That yes, you're able to cope with some of the things that they experience daily, but I do believe that you do have autism all your life.
Thank you.
Okay, I have, yes, ma'am. Come to the mic.
How long have you had Xena?
How long have you had Xena?
We've just had her for 2 years. She's a baby.
And one more. I'll try to take on the end over here. Up. Brooke, I see you back there. You're in the middle, but I'll take you. Can you yell? I know you can, so you can say it loud.
Autism kids need extra help.
Okay, kids with autism need extra help in school.
I would say most of them do, quite a lot of them do. We have lots of teachers, lots of therapists that help these kiddos along their day so they can become successful.
Okay, boys and girls, what I am most proud of with our students at Medlock Ridge is that we know that we all have something unique about us, and we celebrate that. And we have worked really hard at Medlock Ridge to make sure that we are being fair, that we are not bullying, that we are being kind. In fact, we make sure that we are being respectful and concerned citizens and kind. So I am so proud of that. I am very proud of you today because you are excellent audience members. Excellent. And Mrs. Vicky, thank you so much. If Xena wants to do a couple things,